Hello and welcome back to the ministry, and we're coming back to part 2 of Beyond the Lights. I was interrupted because somebody knocked on the door. But continuing where we left off, the young woman was being prepared to go down to do the press conference. And before she went down, her mother went to the security guard that was at the room and said, "Hey, don't make a big thing about this," pretty much telling him, don't say what you really saw happen. And he went to her, or wanted to talk to her about it, because of the fact that he could tell it was something wrong, and everybody around her was acting like, "Oh, this is the thing that happens. We're going to take care of this." But he could see that it was something wrong with her. So, some of y'all got a God-ordained spouse that, I don't care if whatever it is or wherever they're at, maybe they're in real estate. I keep mentioning real estate, corporate job, actor, singer, musician, entertainer, some type of high power influencer. They could be a beauty influencer. They could be a influencer on relationship, whatever it is. But you got somebody that's in a level of influence, and the people around them does not care about them as a person. They more so thinking about, we manage this person, we make sure our checks are paid. But you have been observing. You've been watching. You can see them. You can look at a photo and look in their eyes and say, something ain't right here. I don't care the fact that they are smiling in this picture. I can see that there is something off about this person in this state of mind that they're in. I can see through this situation. And this guy, he could see this woman needed more than just, okay, we're going to pat her up and make her look good, put some makeup on her, put her in a dress, and have her tell a lie. It's like, and he's trying to tell the people she needs attention, medical attention, psychological attention, more so than what y'all are giving her. Besides, oh, suck it up and get back out there, is what they were doing. Some of y'all got people that you're called to. By the naked eye, people would look at them and say, this person don't need nothing. This person is not. This person is like, they're at the best peak of success that they could be at. What in the world? Why they need somebody like me in their life? Their life looks like it's completely in order. Why would I? And that's what you probably been saying about them. Internally, on the opposite side of the coin, they're like, please get me out of this mess. Oh my God. I either need to get out of this mess or I need to get out of here. But I can't stay like this, because this isn't going to work. It's like, I'm going to say what I see. Some of you, the Lord's been showing you, you're supposed to go up to the level that your God-ordained spouse is on. And you've been looking from the outside in saying, ooh, I Don't know whether I want to be there, but I'll go if I have to. And your spouse been saying the exact same thing. Oh, I don't know whether I want to go there or be attached to that type of association, but I will if I have to. Same as you're intrigued to get in, they intrigued to get out. It's like the word I released. Don't always assume that because the person is popular that they want to be in that position. I literally was listening to Megan Michelle the other day, and she was making the point of saying that she was in high school and she naturally drew people that loved her heart, her attention, all that kind of stuff, and she didn't like it. People have the assumption that these celebrities like having all of the attention that they have. Some do. There are some that do. But people don't understand that those positions come with work that comes with it. You have to be here, stand here, do this, do that, do the other thing. You got to, and it's constantly mechanical. Come here, shake this person's hand, do this, do this, do this, do this. There is no life to that. It literally is a job. Shake this person's hand, sign this thing, do this, do the steps. Half of them are like, can I do these steps and then I cannot go home? Because this ain't the life right here. But we look from the outside in. It looks like, oh my God, look at the cameras. Look at them signing autographs. Oh my God. And they standing there signing the autographs like, when can I go home? I don't want to be here. Ain't nobody paying me no daggone attention. The people that are supposed to be around me that care, they ain't doing nothing. And this guy recognized this. And she went out for the press conference and she said what she had to say. And she's like, oh, I was up there and I had been drinking. You know, we were celebrating and everything. And it's like, I don't know, I got dizzy while I was standing on the balcony and fell over. Thank God. I had this wonderful security guard that was there and he helped me back up. It was just an accident. I'm sorry. And he's like, and she looks at him and she know he know. And he's like, yeah, it was just an accident. When I came in, she was having a moment and she was laughing about something and she slipped and I grabbed her before she fell. Pretty much making up a lie around what she said. So she spends the next couple of days trying to diffuse the situation. Now, next step. After this happens, he comes home. He realizes he's got phone messages. People are now calling him. He was already in position to potentially go into politics. His father wanted him in politics. He was already a, outstanding police officer and so on and so forth. So they were positioning him to go into politics for activism and all of this kind of stuff. And he was supposed to go meet some people. So he was getting the phone calls. Now it's like, we heard what happened. We want to know more. We're going to invite you to. So he's getting 15 phone calls. Sometimes when you come into the situation, your association to the person is going to make you instantaneously gain attention. You might have been working on something. You might have been doing something. You might have been putting your hands on something. But people are going to start knocking on your door now that they see you. They're going to start inviting you now to the events because they want to know. This person is seen with that person. And you're going to have to worry about the people around you, meaning trying to use your attention to gain you a position, or trying to use your association to gain other association. Now, he's still concerned about her, like legitimately. When he leaves work that evening, after talking to his father, he says that he's interested in trying to find out more information as to, like, is she okay? So on. His father was saying, this is the thing with these celebrities, and he's trying to, like, downplay him to leave it alone. That he's in a good place right now. Let the situation die and not get any further involved in the situation because of the political ramifications for the position that he's in. Don't dig in that. A lot of y'all, some of y'all may be have a potential. May not be the potential that people around you want, or it may be a potential people around you do want, but it's not something that you want. But there may be a little bit of a friction there with your career or what have you. And you being associated with this person in some ways can be a positive. For my creative people, some of you, it will be a positive association being attached to that person's name. But at the same time, it could be a negative connotation for what other people view your life should be or could be. Not everybody has a like or love for that kind of environment. And some people will look down upon it if you ended up in that world. So, but the thing about it is, sometimes the Lord will create a scenario, even though it does not look good, in order to position you to be able to open up a situation for you. And it may not look good. This woman, it did not look good for her to be labeled as what she was to be labeled, having nearly committed suicide. But his concern was there. So he goes and he tries to check up on her. He reaches out to her mother. She was at an event, tries to reach out to her mother. Her mother's like, no, what do you really want? Something. She's like, just let it go and what have you. See, there are people that will be associated with you or with that person and won't see you as a good influence on them. Mostly because of the fact that they see that you have potential of messing up what they have maintained over a period of time. Because if the person is a check to them, then you showing up and actually giving a darn about them means that this person is going to be pulled out of their stupor, and they're going to start thinking, and they're going to start questioning, and they're going to start looking at the people around them a little bit harder, and they might start looking at their finances a little bit harder, and they may start actually saying, nah, I don't want this person around me because this person doesn't care, and I'm going to start removing people that are no longer going to fit this narrative for where it is and what it is that I'm trying to get done. So, to that person, you're a threat because you're going to make them think. They don't need this person to think. They need this person to be a product. Just as inanimate as the CD on the shelf, just as inanimate as the piece of paper that needs to be signed, so on and so forth. Just as inanimate as the movie that they're going to create that sells in the movie theater and on DVD and Blu-ray and digital download. They need the person to be a puppet that they can pull strings on. They don't need this person to think. You're going to make them think like a person. You're dangerous. You're dangerous. So, with that, the mother is like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I wanted to check and see if she was okay. I don't think that's a good idea. But irregardless, she gets ready to go. The mother steps away and she comes out. When she comes out, she sees him. She's like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, hey, what's up? I wanted to see how you were after the other night and so on and so on. She said, now her mother had walked across the street because she was going to get in the car. And she wanted her to come get in the car with her. But she's talking to him and she said, you know what? Where's your card? And he said, it's right there. Like, okay. Come on. So his car was parked on that side. The mother's car was on the opposite side of the street. So a car pulled through. They jumped in his car. And when the mom saw after the car passed that she was in his car, she jumps up and says, what are you doing? But it's too late because they already drove off. Let me tell you something. Your God-today spouse is looking for an escape route. Female, male, I don't care who we are. They're looking for an escape route. Everything is systematically guarded when it comes to parts of their life. They need an escape. They see you. You're an escape because you're not in it. You're not in the world. And you do not apply to the rules that they have. You see them as the person they are. So, what does he do? He drives her off to go to this burger joint. They go grab some burgers. And they go watch, whatchamacallit? The planes at the airport taking off. Now, I mentioned this whole takeoff thing in the last video, so I'm not really going to go there. But it's a point of takeoff. You're at the point of takeoff. This association can literally make or break what God is doing in your life. Your position is literally to be the one that sincerely cares for this person. Not because you want positioning, not because you're after positioning, but because you care for the person. And because you care for the person, automatically you're going to get the position. I have never understood how people can go in a high-powered person's DMs, message the person, say something to the person, say something, whatever, and be disrespectful toward this person. Do you not understand that this person has a higher ranking and authority than you? Be respectful to this person. I have always been that person that could see through somebody, whatever level they are on, where they are emotionally to a degree. So my thing is, Let me make you feel better. Not because I'm trying to manipulate a hole into your surroundings. Not because I want something from you. I just happen to notice that, hey, you did a good job on it. Let me encourage you. Hey, that was awesome. Let me encourage you. Hey, let me pray for that person. Not because I want anything particularly from you. I used to tell the Lord about my God ordained spouse. If he ever saw anything that I wrote, I pray that it just made him smile. That it made him happy to see it. That somebody cared enough to say it. That's why I wrote what I wrote. That's why I said what I said. I said what I said and I left the situation. Sometimes wouldn't say nothing else for a long period of time. These people need to know that somebody cares about them beyond the lights. Now, that night when he got those 15 phone calls, he ended up getting met by a political, it was a paparazzi recruiter. And they were like, hey, you ever got anything you want to say about the situation? I mean, the real story. I mean, we'll talk to you. So what ended up happening is he got the card and it was in his truck. So while they're sitting there eating, I don't know what she does to make her come into contact with the card. But she reached for something and the card was stuck to it or something like that. And then she takes it and she reads it knowing exactly where it came from. And she's like, oh, what'd they offer you? And he said the guy came to my house. He handed me the card. I didn't want nothing of it. She said, what did they offer you, though? He's like, they wanted the story. I said, no. Oh, take me home. He said, I didn't do anything. What the enemy will do in this season is you will be that close to the manifestation of the thing in which God is trying to bring together in that moment. And he will bring a wedge to make you look like you're not the one that's trustworthy enough to be believed by this person. That your heart is just as shady as every other person that is in or has been around them. That you only wanted to get around them for the clout. That's all you really wanted. And you know in your heart, I'm actually concerned. I wouldn't have came back here if it wasn't for the fact that I was really concerned about you. So she says, take me home. I don't want to hear nothing else from you. So he takes her back home. He gives her the address to her new house. Or she gives him the address to her new house. I think I said that backwards. But they get there and she says, yeah, this is my new place. I haven't even started staying here yet. It's brand new. And he's like, you gonna be all right? She said, yeah, I'll be all right. And he gets ready to leave. And she's frustrated because she don't know what to do in this situation. You being in this person's picture is going to make them start to question everything that is going on around them. And should they maintain or be in this position in the first place? So what ends up happening is he goes to work. His the other people on the team of police officers, they be making fun of him, and they put a bunch of her magazines in his trunk and all of this, and then he has to go to the meeting with his father, and they meeting and talking about all the politics, and he's bored by it and all of that, but he ain't really all that interested in all that. Then I believe while he's at the party, she give him a call and says, "Why don't you come over?" And and he comes over, and they start talking again. And what happens? I know the next day she comes to his job and interrupts his work flow. And his people are like, "Go, go, go, go. She calling you." And she tells everybody as she's doing her interviews and all that kind of stuff that he's like her bodyguard. And it's that element of she's used to getting what she wants and all this kind of stuff. But she's not really getting everything that she wants. She takes him home later that evening, back to her place, and they're sitting on the couch talking and laughing and all this type of stuff. She had went to a photo shoot, and the mother had her remove her top for the shoot. And she even looked at her mother before the cameraman said remove the top, and the mother said do what he says, pretty much. And they talked, but they didn't really dig into that part when they were sitting on the couch. And she said, "I want to show you something." So she takes him upstairs, and they're sitting on the floor going through her songs. And they go through all of the music, and he says, half of this stuff is really good. And she's like, "You really think it's good?" And she has the recollection of the childhood event. And he said, "Why aren't you making this kind of music? This is what really needs to be made." And she said, they don't listen to me. They don't listen to anything I really have to say. Plus, you have to look at the fact that they're positioning her to be a sexual slutty person. So if her music is very monotone and mundane and, you know, Afrocentric, politically aware, all that kind of stuff, it's kind of like what you saw when Alicia Keys went on Empire and she played that character. Like, they had her be the pop star that wanted to do the political song. And the fact of the matter is, these people don't have the freedom that they really want to write what they want. They write what they want, meaning they write about certain areas of their life and stuff like that, and paint it to the degree that they want to paint it. But if they had to choose, if it wasn't for the fact that they were boxed in a certain genre, they may not write what they have been accustomed to writing because it's maybe a little bit outside of the box in which they've been fit in. And let's be honest, a lot of that music, a lot of the visuals, all of these things have been already prepped, prepared, and if the person has any type of major platform, it's directed as to what should be the trend of the direction of that music, what should be the visual direction. If there's a political movement that they want to speak to, they're not speaking to that movement because, oh, let me be the fight the power person for this. They're doing that because this is the movement that we're trying to gain more traction in. Let me put you at the front head for the sound of this movement. You understand what I'm saying? Whether they want to be in that position or not. You understand what I'm saying? I was listening to one of the ministers I follow, and she was saying, be careful of associating yourself with certain movements in this time frame, because you need not be associated to movements and political forums if that's not where you're called to be. You have to get permission from the Lord as to if you're supposed to be involved in that scenario. And 9 times out of 10, if you are, it's not going to be what's publicly trending that's going to be the direction that the Lord is going to take you. What's politically correct, it's probably going to be the exact opposite. God is about division, and he's about telling the truth. The truth usually goes in the opposite direction of what's popular media opinion. So you got to be careful. If you go in there, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be what's politically correct. So, yeah, I'm going to stop this here because I'm almost out of time, and I'm going to come back on the next part to continue. Until next time, bye-bye.